Hello and welcome to the Bob Box. And this week we have the conclusion of a completely unintended theme month, which is what happens when your vlog subjects are chosen at random. If there's any theme between the robots, it's a coincidence, nothing more. The theme? You just wait, I may have mentioned it last week. To Detonator, a green dome-shaped bot covered in spikes with a red pipe sticking out the end meant to act as a battering ram. It made its debut in Series 1 of Robot Wars and landed in Heat B, where of course it had to face the gauntlet. Detonator's exit from the turntable at the start of the gauntlet was completely mistimed, and Detonator got pinned to the turntable by its own spikes, which was the cue for a facepalm for the team captain, who was not driving, I hasten to add. Then the house robots showed up, specifically Shunt and Sergeant Bash, freeing Detonator, but Detonator got stuck once again on the rails, which was the cue for more head burying in arms from the team captain. However, thanks to its tanglings with Shunt, Detonator ended up in a position where it could move and finally had a spurt along the course. But thanks to all the getting stuck, it only got 7 meters along the course. Now, fortunately for Detonator, there was one team that did far worse than them, and the 7 meters was actually more than enough to get it through to the trials, which that week was British Bulldogs, a now banned game which I will never understand, no matter how long I live. From what the explanation provided on Robot Wars, it sounds like some kind of race, and the house robots are basically trying to get in the way and stop everyone from getting to the end. So 5 surviving robots in a race, not really competing against each other. They could have just had it as a straight race, to be honest, without obstacles or house robots, but well, maybe with the house robots, but definitely with less obstacles, because they just had some pyramids. Anyway, Detonator, after the gauntlet, they'd mentioned they were having trouble turning left, and they were trying to fix this before the trial. However, being able to turn left is all very well and good. It's useful, like turning right. But if you can't move, then it's no good. And Detonator failed to move at all, which was much to the team captain's frustration. He was watching backstage because there wasn't enough room for everyone in the teams to be driving their robots, or to be standing there while someone's driving the robots, so only the drivers were out. The rest of the teams were watching backstage. Detonator's team captain basically turned around and walked off. As it turned out, Detonator's batteries were flat, so they just couldn't move at all. They did get prodded and poked by one of the house robots, but it did not magically spring back to life. So, Detonator did not return for Series 2. Its team did return. They were a school team and had a robot that actually did quite a bit better, and its name was Napalm. Rather unfortunate name, but it made the series semi-finals, came back for Series 3, team returned again for Series 4 with a different robot, Shadow of Napalm, which it's forgettable. You'd think, therefore, 2 further robots, that Detonator's story would have ended. I'd be doing the wrap up right now. Not quite. See, Detonator reappeared in the War of Independence special in Series 4, where it drew American Hammerbot Frenzy. Now, why Detonator got brought out for this remains a mystery. There's rumours that it was brought in to replace another robot so that the Americans could actually have a chance. I don't know. I don't have the details. So, whatever happened, Detonator was finally going to have a fight. Detonator got off to a very slow start, and as a result, it got hammered repeatedly by Frenzy before the American bot backed off for a moment. Then Frenzy hammered Detonator again. Frenzy didn't stop until its hammer got stuck in the arena dance floor. Now, I don't think this is something Frenzy's team will have anticipated. The American arenas are made from very different materials to the British arenas, at least in the 2000-2001 time. Matilda freed the hammer, which, yeah, it'd be embarrassing because you lost because your hammer got stuck in the ground. So Frenzy hammered and pushed Detonator until Detonator lost its top armour and was on a flame jet. But didn't stop even then. Hammered Detonator some more. Now, Detonator was very much toast, both figuratively and literally. Detonator got taken away by the house robots, placed on the floor flipper, and got pitted. Sergeant Bash nearly went down with Detonator. And that was the end of Detonator. Detonator was far too slow and likely wouldn't have got much further in its heat than the trials. Had it gone through, it most likely would have had to face an Axe Bot in Mortis or a Flipper in Recyclops. And likely would have gone out. Detonator was vulnerable to overhead weapons and was also vulnerable to flippers. I didn't mention it, but it had a high ground clearance. It didn't come into play in any of the events Detonator was involved in, but against Recyclops it very much would have. I would not be surprised that if the turntable that Detonator got stuck on in the gauntlet was ditched ahead of Series 2 because of what happened with Detonator. If it hadn't been there, Detonator probably would have done a lot better in the gauntlet. As it was, Detonator was lucky to get through, but at the same time it would have been horrendously unlucky if it had gone out. So, what I hear you cry was the unintended theme. Well, this ends No Win-Tober, a month in which yours truly talks about robots that didn't have a fight victory. It may have got through the trials and the gauntlet, but when placed in combat against another robot, did not win. But as we enter November, will that change? Taiki, please be kind. I am doing NaNoWriMo. I do not want to get Razor for the first week. Fat Boy Tin. Until next week, Callison244 out.